Hi everyone, it's Gillian and welcome to my channel and another crochet tutorial. For today's tutorial, we're working on these Santa Claus coasters. This is a free pattern available on Hobby, and I will leave a link in the description below so you can go ahead and check out this pattern and all the amazing patterns, hooks and yarns that they have. For this tutorial, I use 100% acrylic yarn, and that's just what I had on hand, but the recommended yarn for this pattern is, if you're going to use it as a coaster or to put something hot on, it's going to be 100% cotton yarn. So let's get started. For round one, we're going to start with our white color to make Santa's beard. You're going to start with a magic ring, chain 3, and that chain 3 is going to count as your first double crochet. Inside the ring, you're going to make 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. On that 5th stitch, we're not going to complete it. We're going to leave 2 loops on our hook. We're now going to add the color that we're going to use for the skin tone, and we're going to pull this through. For this pattern, we're going to be turning our work at the end of the round, so I am not going to be carrying my non-working yarn with me. Now into the ring, you're going to make 6 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I'm going to pull on the tail end of the white color, and I'm going to join to the top of the chain 3 with a slip stitch to complete the round. And that is the end of round 1. For round 2, working with your skin tone color, you're going to turn your work, make a slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, make a double crochet into the same stitch. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And this is going to be a stitch repeat for round 2. You're going to make 2 double crochets into each stitch until you get to the round. And we're going to be switching colors when it's time to switch your colors. So here you're going to make 2 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. On this last double crochet, before we switch colors, we're not going to complete it. We're going to drop the working yarn, and remembering that we're not carrying it with us because we're turning at the end of the round, and you're going to pull that through to complete the double crochet stitch. You're going to make 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and you're going to make 2 double crochets into the next 5 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. At the end of the round, you're going to make 2 double crochets into this last stitch, and you can flip it on the right side, and you will see that that stitch is right there, and you have to stitch into that. You have to make 2 double crochets into that stitch. And at the end, you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of your chain 3 to complete the round. And that is the end of round 2. For round 3, you're going to turn your work, and you're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch. You're going to chain 3 into the next stitch. You're going to make 2 double crochets, and this is going to be the start of a repeat for round 2. For round 3, 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to repeat 2 double crochets into the next stitch, one double crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat until you have to switch colors. And the last stitch before you have to switch colors, you're not going to complete it. You're going to drop the working yarn and pick up the non-working yarn to complete that stitch. You're now going to make one double crochet into the next stitch, because here you left off with 2 double crochets, so now you make 1 and then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, and then you repeat that sequence all the way to the end of the round. And you're going to make 2 double crochets into the last stitch, and then you can flip it over to see where you put in your stitch, which is right there. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And that completes round 3. For round 4, you're going to turn your work. You're going to make a slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 3, make a double crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And this is going to be the start of your repeat for round 4. You're going to make 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Two double crochets into the next. One double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And 2 double crochets into the next. And you're going to repeat this sequence of stitches all the way around. You're going to switch colors when it's time to switch your colors all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of the round, you're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. And that is the end of round 4. For round 5, we're going to cut this color, the skin tone color, because we're not going to need it anymore. And for round 5, you're going to turn your work. And this is going to be your repeat for the white all the way around to the end here. You're going to make a slip stitch into the first stitch. You're going to skip the next stitch, and into the next one you're going to make 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip the next stitch, and you're going to start your repeat again by making a slip stitch into the next stitch. Skip 1 stitch and 5 double crochets into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to start your repeat again. Skip 1 stitch, slip stitch into the next, not single crochet, slip stitch, skip 1 and 5 double crochets into the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to repeat the sequence of stitches 3 more times, and at the end you should have 6 of these clusters of 5 double crochets, and I'll meet you there. At the end you're going to slip stitch into the last stitch. You're not going to complete it. You're going to add your red color that you're going to be using for Santa's hat. and you're going to pull that through to complete the stitch. I'm going to be carrying the white color with me, and if you find that maybe it's too much of a see-through for you, you can always cut it and pick it up at the other end. So into the next 2 stitches, you're going to make a single crochet. You're going to make 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. You're going to make a half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 2 half double crochets. And if you're carrying your non-working yarn, just remember to give it a little tug so that it doesn't get caught between in the back. Just give it a little tug every now and then to make sure everything straightens out. You're now going to make a double crochet into the next 3 stitches. Into the next stitch, you're going to make 2 double crochets. And you're going to repeat this sequence, the double crochet stitches, 3 more times, and I'll meet you at the end. On the last stitch, you're not going to complete the stitch. Instead, you're going to drop your working yarn and pick up the non-working yarn to complete the stitch. You're going to chain 3, and you're going to turn your work, and you're going to make a puff stitch into that first stitch, and you're going to go into that stitch and you're going to pull up a loop 3 times. So first you're going to wrap your hook, you're going to go into that stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to pull 2 loops off. So that's 1 time, 2, 3, and 4, and you have 5 loops on your hook. You're going to wrap your hook and pull through all 5 loops, and then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to cut your yarn, and you're also going to cut the red color because you're all finished with that also. So if you are bothered by this, this is what I was talking about in the beginning of the round. Here I don't see the white, but maybe for you, if it's see-through, you can cut the white here and then join it over here. And because I didn't do that, there's this little piece here, and you may be bothered by it, but I'm not. So you can always, when you're sewing your ends, use this to the tail end of the red to hide that. So that's an option. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get ready and we're going to make the beard for our Santa. To make the mustache, you're going to chain 17, and I'm going to leave a bit of a tail on the end. You're going to put a slip knot on your hook, and you're going to chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You're going to skip the first stitch, and into the second chain from your hook, you're going to make a single crochet. You're going to make a half double crochet into the next stitch. You're going to make a double crochet into the next 3 stitches. You're going to make a half double crochet into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, single crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, you're going to make a half double crochet, 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, half double crochet into the next stitch. Into the next stitch, you're going to make a single crochet, and into the last stitch, you're going to make a slip stitch. And you're going to turn your work so that you're working on the opposite side of the chain. And into that first stitch, you're going to make a slip stitch. You're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, a half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, you're going to make a single crochet into the next 2 stitches, slip stitch into the next stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 2 stitches, a half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, you make a single crochet into the next stitch and a slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, and I just put the last slip stitch at the end here. And then you're going to fasten off here, and you're also going to leave a bit of a tail. And you've just completed your mustache, and next we're going to attach it to the coaster. So now we're going to attach the mustache, and the curvier part goes on the bottom, and this top is more straight, so that's going to be the top of the mustache. So I laid, and I tried to make sure that the middle is here. And what I do, I mean, you can do this however you want. I just go through a few of the loops on the end here. I also go through, put my hand in a weird way so you can see it, like that. And then I go in to the back. And I sew this in the back here, hide my end. And I do the same for the other side. And that works good for me. I didn't feel the need to sew in the ends. I think that looks great, but if you want to do that, you can definitely do that. So next up, we're gonna make the eyes. So now we're going to make the eye, and I already made one, and I'll show you how I made the next one. And I just use regular 4-ply yarn, and I break it in two, pull it apart, so you have like 2 strands on each side. And you don't have to do that because when I made the first one, I just used the yarn the way it was. So okay, so I already have this on my needle. So I counted 5 stitches, and I counted the 2 in 1 as 1 stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 stitches in between, and then I go with my needle here and there's no wrong or right way. It's not going to be perfect. And then I go down, so I go 1 row down, so you have a set of double crochets in between, so you kind of go to the bottom of the double crochets. You just find a spot, any spot, and you're going to pull that through. And in the back here, I went underneath the stitches, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can just go straight up and down. It doesn't matter. That's the back of the work, and no one's really looking at it. But you can weave your yarn through the stitches. You just want to make sure that it's not going to be showing up on the front. Okay, so you can just go behind. Then you're going to go back into that same stitch, come out the other side, and just find a spot. So you're kind of making like an upside down V. You just pull that through to your liking. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. You can just go ahead and weave in the rest of your ends. And you'll go ahead and weave in the remaining ends the same way. So you don't have to sit here and see me do all that. And that is the end of the tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, thank you for stopping by.